Hi, my name is Brian Roberts, and this is the Los Angeles Conducting Workshop and Competition. And today I have Scott and Neil with me. Scott and Neil are the conducting teachers here, I
That's
presume.
right.
Yes. So tell me a little bit of how you got started with this organization.
Well, I met Nove in London. It must have been about 10 years ago.
Oh, right.
I was teaching in a workshop there. I was a professor at the Royal College of Music. And we kept in touch. And 3 years ago, he said, how would you like to come and teach in Los Angeles? And so that's why I'm here.
Nice.
And last year, Scott joined me. We have a very happy team.
We do.
Working together. It's one of the, certainly for me, it's one of the weeks I look forward to most in the year.
Oh, that's fantastic. So tell me a little about your history. How did you get into conducting?
I always wanted to be a conductor.
Really?
Since the age of about 11. And when I was 14, I put together an orchestra made up of people, my school friends, and local amateurs. I did a concert in a church.
Wow.
And I did the Mozart Jupiter Symphony. And of course, I didn't have a clue. And the last movement got faster and faster and faster and faster. And I walked off stage and I said to my mother, I never want to conduct again. But 40 years, here I am, still trying.
That's fantastic. And Neil, what's your history with this?
My story's a little different. I was a trumpet player, and I sort of fell into conducting. To me, when I was offered a conducting position, I thought, well, that's not what I want to do at all. The conductors are the enemy. I don't want anything to do with those people. But I fell into it and suddenly realized how much I loved that, even more than trumpet playing. And for a while, I did a lot of trumpet playing, a lot of conducting, and then the conducting sort of just took over. So
Nice. And so how did you get involved with Nove?
Well, Nove was a doctoral student at the University of South Carolina, where he was my student.
Nice.
And so 2 years ago, Nove invited me to come join Neil at this.
So this will probably get cut. Was he a good student? That's totally in the video.
Excellent student.
Yeah, really,
Cool.
absolutely.
Fantastic. Tell me about your feelings about this program, why it's valuable, why people should look into it if they're interested.
Well, I think it's a great conductor training institute. And there's a wonderful vibe in it. It's a very collaborative vibe. Everybody is sort of cheering for each other. I've heard the word honest used this week. I like that word. We're honest with the students, but we're not brutally honest with the students. And I think as a result, we're seeing a lot of improvement from day to day.
Yeah, that's really true. And I think that we take every student where he or she is and work from there to find every day a little improvement. And it's been good this week. Every single person has improved. I mean, I think what Scott and I share a similar ethos in that we're working with the students to try to show them how they can work with their hands, to how to show their musical ideas to an orchestra, and how we can influence the sound that an orchestra makes. So it's something that's very practical. It's not in any way sort of abstract or academic. You know, it's something it's really hands-on experience,
Excellent.
which for young conductors is gold dust.
I'll bet. So, in your history as a conductor, what is the most difficult thing about learning to be a conductor that this provides?
Just getting the opportunity to stand in front of real musicians playing this music, those opportunities are hard to find. And then to get feedback while doing that. And I think that's why people come to these things, is that they actually get to stand in front of a professional orchestra and get the feedback, because conducting's an interesting thing. You can only get so good in a practice room by yourself. It's not like you can go into a practice room with a piano. You need an orchestra to get better.
Right.
And so here you come, you have an orchestra, you have us giving feedback, you have great repertoire.
Nice.
It's as Scott said, it's difficult. You're not responsible for your own sound as a conductor. You know, you haven't got an instrument to practice on. And it's a little bit like, saying you're going to play the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto in 6 months, sit in a room, no violin, and then the day of the concert you're given a violin play. And I think it's a little bit how it feels for conductors.
Wow.
You study in your room on your own, and then suddenly you're in front of 50 people.
Yeah.
So we're trying to give them that sort of experience. so they can learn the cause and effect. That's the most difficult thing to learn as a conductor. Is it me? Is it the orchestra? How can I be,
Nice. Any other insights? Any other things you think would sound great on a sound bite on a commercial? Wow.
Which nobody's looking at me.
I know. You can feel
This
the
is
heat.
the
You can
best
feel the heat.
workshop in America.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's fantastic.
No, but I mean, one thing I think we can honestly say is that we consciously have created a good learning environment where people feel they can come and make mistakes in a safe learning environment. And I think that's really important. Because the professional world can be brutal for conductors,
Sure.
really. There's, as Scott said, some players see you as the enemy. There's one of you, there's 80 of them,
Right.
And I think that's very important. People need to be able to come to experiment, to feel free to make mistakes. And often when they do that, we see that the improvement
Fantastic.
in the rate is fantastic.
Awesome.